If you're chasing riches and financial freedom by going to college and getting a high-paying job, you've already lost. I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad and it changed everything. Here's why you should read it too. If you're ever trying to learn something to improve your life in some way, there's always a book that's the best beginner book that teaches you the fundamentals of that topic in a way you can deeply understand. For the world of financial freedom and wealth building, that book is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad gave me the knowledge I needed to plan for the life I always knew I wanted and would do whatever was necessary to acquire. After reading this book, I don't have all the answers, but I know where I want to be in the coming years, and I now have the mindset needed for getting me there. While I may not yet have millions, I have the mindset of a millionaire. Do you? What is it that I actually learned from this book, and why should you read it too? In this video, I'll be talking about the key points I took away from this book after reading it that changed the way I thought about money, the way it moves, and the accumulation of it. All of this information and more can be found in Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I have linked down below in the description with my very own affiliate link, meaning I will earn commissions off of any purchases under that link, as Amazon requires that I say. However, my opinion of this book, as is going to be stated throughout this video, is completely my own opinion. If you do find the information in this video to be intriguing and decide to get the book to learn a lot more than I can teach you here, it would seriously help me out if you did use my link. So, like and subscribe to support the channel, and without any further ado, point number 1. The rich don't work for money, money works for them. The first chapter of this book taught the invaluable lesson that paved the way for the remaining chapters. This lesson is known most well by those with substantial wealth, that being that the rich don't work for money, money works for them. This immediately resulted in a major shift in my understanding of wealth accumulation. The rich don't give their time, energy, and freedom for a direct return of cash. The money they make is not directly correlated with the amount of hours they work. Their money is made through investments that put their cash to work for them. The next logical question would be, what kind of investment should I be making? That brings us into point number 2, the difference between assets and liabilities. To answer that question, and the question of how to get rich, invest in assets. That's literally it.
Okay.
The formula to wealth accumulation is so simple that the only way for it to be confusing is if you have such an altered way of thinking about it, likely from your time in school or your family, that to understand that simple phrase, you have to unlearn everything you previously thought you knew about it.
What follows is a brief construction montage.
That's why young Robert and his childhood friend Mike couldn't believe how simple it was, that even young children such as themselves could understand it, meanwhile adults couldn't.
What do you mean by that?
Even if you don't yet understand what it means, say to yourself, to create wealth, I must invest my money into assets and avoid spending it on liabilities. I'll wait. Good job.
You weird, buddy.
Now for us to move any further, we have to make sure that we understand what assets and liabilities are. Robert's Rich Dad offers a simple definition. He says that assets are simply things that put money in your pocket, while liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket. The focus is less on what it is and more on what it does for you financially. This at face value may sound pretty reasonable and self-explanatory, but it actually flies in the face of what the middle class largely believes. What do most of the middle class claim as their largest asset? Their house. Now tell me, does their house put money in their pocket or take money out of their pocket? Obviously, it takes money out of their pocket, so according to Robert, your house or your parents' house is not an asset, it's a liability.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
What the hell are you?
We are a liability.
Sure, in the long run, your house may appreciate in value, and maybe you'll decide to sell it and downsize later on in your life, but on a monthly basis and even a yearly basis, the only money that is moving as a direct result of your house is money that's moving from your pocket into the pocket of your bank. Your house is a liability, not an asset. Now, this same logic can be applied to your car, your clothes and jewelry, your golf clubs, and everything that you purchase or spend money on that doesn't reasonably appreciate in value, cash flow in some way, and in most cases, like cars, loses a significant portion of its value in just the short time that you've owned it. What are a few examples of valid assets then? Cash flowing real estate, stocks and bonds, businesses you don't have to work in, intellectual property / royalties, and anything that generates passive income. Remember, the rich don't work for money, money works for them. So for your business to be considered an asset, it needs to be at a stage in its development where it runs itself through your employees. There's nothing wrong with your business needing you to run. That's how you must start as a business owner. It just means that according to Kiyosaki, your business is not yet an asset, but has the potential to become one. If you need to, rewatch that last section to get a better understanding of everything I just said. Hearing all of this for the first time can be a lot to take in, and understanding the fundamentals of assets and liabilities can be the thing that changes your financial life forever. That's why it's best to actually read the book, as I encourage you to do. Now let's take you back to that original statement that you previously said now that you know what they are. Say to yourself again, to create wealth, I must invest my assets into liabilities. Oh, did you hear what I just said? Said, to create wealth, I must invest my assets into liabilities. To create wealth, I must invest my money into assets and avoid spending it on liabilities. Now, while I have you, comment what has stood out to you the most so far and made you think. Moving on from point number 2 and on to point number 3. It's time to mind your own business. When Robert Kiyosaki says to mind your own business, he doesn't mean keeping your nose out of other people's affairs. He means to focus on building your asset column. When Robert once asked a man what his business was, he responded by saying that he is a banker. Robert then asked if he owned the bank. This occurrence demonstrates the point. Your business is not your job or career. It is the assets that you own, the money that is working for you. So, mind your own business. Focus on leveraging your current income on assets that can replace your job, giving you the time to focus on things that are more important. The fourth major point that drastically impacted my perspective was his prioritization of learning over earning. He said, don't work to earn, work to learn. Remember, the rich don't work for the wealth, but right now I do, so please like and subscribe. So when they do work, their intention is for the acquisition of knowledge, not cash. In the early stages of your wealth creation journey, your focus should not be on making money. It should be on acquiring knowledge and understanding. It's like asking for a fish rather than a fishing pole. Yeah, working to earn may make you some cash, but what is that money going to do for you once it's gone? When you work to learn, you acquire a commodity that, as long as your brain is safe in your head, will never leave you. An asset that you can always use to your advantage. And that's Robert's most important point in this section of his book, that being that your mind is an asset. But not any asset, it is your greatest asset. You can have a piece of real estate generating you tens of thousands of dollars every month, but if you don't have the financial IQ to handle an asset like that and do with the money what a millionaire would do, then you'd probably be better off without it. Focus, before anything else, on developing your greatest asset, your mind. To demonstrate how this can be done, Robert talks about his own life and the careers he went through before achieving financial freedom. He worked in the Marines to learn how to manage people. He worked for his rich dad to learn what he could from the specialists that his rich dad employed. And most notably, he worked in sales to overcome his fear of rejection and to learn to sell. Now, use your brain and look for opportunities to work to learn instead of working solely to earn. When you start seeing opportunities of any kind, your brain will forever recognize them. Your mind is your greatest asset. Always remember that. Now, all of this isn't to say that for you to become financially free and wealthy, you don't have to work. No, not at all. In fact, it will require lots and lots of work from you in the beginning. What he means when he says that the rich don't work for money, but money works for them, is that simply the way to get rich is not by working a job, trading your time and passion for a paycheck, and making your boss rich. It's by making your money work for you, using your money as leverage. So, an example of this that isn't mentioned in the book but holds just as much value would be saving up the money that you're earning from your job, living frugally, and then investing all that money into cash flowing real estate, like house hacking a fourplex when starting off, which means to buy a fourplex, live in one of the units, rent out the other 3, effectively turning one of America's greatest expenses, housing, into a stream of income instead of an expense. All of this isn't even everything that the book includes. Other chapters that I had to leave out for time's sake include The Rich Invent Money, Overcome Fear and Doubt, Taxes and Corporations, Build Passive Income, Financial Literacy is Everything, and the study version of this book includes a list of to-dos, which, again, is linked in the description of this video. If you care about being free from the rat race, or, depending on your age, never getting involved in the first place, but never knew where to start, now you do. So go down into the description and get yourself your very own copy. Now, what was my opinion of the book? Yeah, I loved it. And my girlfriend did too, so it's definitely good. Hi, I'm Colin. I'm new to YouTube, but I have big plans. I've been working on something in the background, a sort of reality YouTube series I've been planning. If you're interested, stay tuned until late May, early June-ish of this year, 2026, for the first episode by turning on your post notification bell. You'll be hearing more from me, so I'll see you then. Thanks for watching this long into the video. Comment on your takeaways, like if you learned something new, and subscribe if you liked what you saw. See ya. Bye.
Bye. No, you should go like this.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. That's a good idea.